Hi guys, welcome back to the channel everyone. It's your boy KayBPlayz. Before we get into it, if you want to win a control fruit giveaway, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below that you did. I'll be picking one lucky winner soon, and this is your chance to finally get your hands on one of the most hyped fruits in the entire game. Now let's talk about what everyone's been waiting for, the confirmed control rework in Blox Fruits. This is something that's been building up for a long time. Ever since the major revamps for fruits like Dough and Venom dropped, the community has been asking when Control would finally get its own upgrade. It's a fruit that's always had incredible potential, but it never quite reached the level people expected. You see, Control was introduced back when Blox Fruits systems were way simpler. The effects were cool for their time, the concept was creative, and the domain ability made players feel powerful. But now, with how much the game has evolved, better animations, new lighting, smoother combos, the old Control fruit just can't keep up. It's time for it to evolve, and that's exactly what's happening. So let's start by looking back at what made the Control fruit so iconic in the first place. When it first came out, it completely changed how people thought about devil fruits and Blox Fruits. Most fruits were built around raw power, fire, magma, light, flashy elements that hit hard and fast, but Control was different. It was about strategy. It allowed players to literally manipulate the space around them. The moment you activated your domain, you created your own arena. You could lift rocks, throw them at enemies, move buildings, and create your own version of chaos. For its time, that was groundbreaking. Players who mastered it could dominate 1v1s, but only if they had perfect timing. The problem, though, is that Control was designed in an older era of the game. As new fruits started to arrive, like Venom, Dragon, Shadow, and now Kitsune, the power scale shifted. Those fruits had better mobility, smoother combos, and insane visual effects. Meanwhile, Control started to feel stiff. It looked great in concept, but in actual gameplay, it became hard to use. The domain didn't always capture enemies correctly, the cooldowns were too long, and some abilities just didn't land the way they were supposed to. Players began to drop the fruit completely and move to faster ones like Dough or Light. Now, the devs have finally listened. The Control rework has been officially confirmed, and the goal isn't just to polish the fruit, it's to completely rebuild it from the ground up. Early leaks and developer hints have made it clear that this isn't going to be a small fix. It's a full overhaul with new visuals, smoother mechanics, and possibly even brand new abilities. From what's being discussed in the community, we can expect the new Control to be way more responsive. The domain activation will be faster, the animations will be cleaner, and most importantly, the new effects will make the entire battlefield feel alive. Imagine standing in the middle of your domain while everything around you bends and distorts, buildings shaking, the ground warping, and enemies slowly being pulled toward the center as your power expands. That's the kind of upgrade people have been dreaming of for years. But let's talk gameplay, because that's where this rework really matters. The original Control fruit was never friendly for grinding. It looked amazing but took too long to kill enemies. The hitboxes were weird and it didn't have enough wide-range attacks to handle groups. The rework aims to fix that. Developers are reportedly improving area of effect attacks and damage scaling. That means Control might finally be usable for farming and boss fights, not just PvP. PvP though, that's where things are about to get serious. Imagine faster domain activation, shorter cooldowns, and new combos that chain between your sword, fighting style, and fruit abilities. Control could finally become a high-skill fruit again, one that rewards players who know how to predict their opponent's movements. Instead of being just a flashy power, it'll actually be a tactical weapon. That's what Control was always supposed to be. Not brute force, but intelligence, skill, and precision. Now let's get into the visuals, because this is where Blox Fruits has really been stepping up. The reworked Control fruit will likely use the new lighting and particle systems introduced in recent updates. Expect glowing purple energy waves, dark gravitational distortions, and smooth transitions when activating domain. One of the most exciting rumors is that when you use your ultimate ability, the sky darkens and the environment actually reacts, meaning rocks float, debris rises, and enemies inside your domain appear to move in slow motion while you control every direction they go. That's pure domination. The name Control means power over everything, and this rework seems to finally be delivering that experience. For years, players who love the fruit have been asking for something that feels like true Control, not just pressing buttons and hopping the hitboxes work, but actually shaping the battlefield. This update is the devs saying, yeah, it's time. Another thing worth talking about is how this affects the Blox Fruits economy. Every time a fruit gets a rework, its demand shoots up. We saw it with Dough, we saw it with Venom, and now it's Control's turn. Right now, Control sits somewhere in the middle tier of trade value, but once this rework drops, it's going to skyrocket. People are already hoarding Control fruits in anticipation of the update. If you're lucky enough to have one in your inventory right now, hold on to it. Once the update goes live, it could easily become one of the most expensive fruits in the market for weeks. Now let's dive into potential abilities. The old control fruit had its domain, levitate, and gamma rush, which were fun but limited. With the rework, leaks suggest that we might see new mechanics like environmental destruction, object manipulation, and possibly even teleportation within the domain. One idea that's been floating around the community is a reality collapse ultimate, an ability that makes everything inside your sphere implode for massive damage while visually bending the map around you. If that makes it into the game, it'll easily become one of the coolest looking abilities in all of Blox Fruits. Beyond that, we could see new synergy between Control and other fighting styles. Right now, the biggest challenge with Control is how slow it feels when chaining abilities. The rework might fix that with shorter end lags and new combo windows. Imagine activating your domain using a sword move like Shisui's pull effect, then comboing into a control slam for double damage. It's the kind of setup that makes fights dynamic again. Now let's talk about lore for a second because that's something people overlook. Control has always had a mysterious side. It's inspired by the overhaul fruit from One Piece, a fruit that gives you godlike ability to manipulate the world inside a surgical field. In that story, it's a fruit tied to sacrifice, precision, and ultimate power. Blox Fruits has always used that same idea, but they've never fully explored it. With this rework, there's a chance we'll see new animations or story hints that connect Control to the upcoming storyline updates. The devs have been adding lore through raids, new islands, and bosses. Imagine if the Control rework came with a new NPC or quest where you learn how to master your powers, maybe even a special raid where you unlock the true form of the domain. That would make the rework feel more meaningful, not just a visual upgrade. Another big question people are asking, will Control get an awakening? There's been speculation for months that the devs are planning awakenings for fruits that never had them, and Control is at the top of that list. If that happens, we could see an evolved domain, maybe one that lasts longer, has a wider range, or lets you manipulate gravity itself. That would make Control a true endgame fruit again. Let's shift gears and talk PvP strategies for the new Control. Based on what we know, mobility and timing are going to be everything. If the new Control gets smoother movement, players will be able to combine dashes, jumps, and object throws for fast pressure. Instead of being trapped in one slow animation, you'll have flexibility, and that's what separates casual players from pros. You'll start seeing new 1v1 styles where players use their domain not just for power, but for zoning, forcing their opponents into corners, baiting dodges, and then finishing with the ultimate collapse move. It's going to redefine how duels feel. We also need to talk about the sound design. Control has always had unique audio effects, but they were subtle. With the rework, we're likely getting more immersive sounds, rumbling distortion, deep bass pulses, and spatial echoes that make the domain feel alive. Sound matters more than people realize, and this will make the fruit feel powerful even before you hit anyone. When it comes to grinding, Control users might finally have a reason to stick with their fruit. The new AoE and faster casting will make it viable for farming mobs and bosses, especially if the rework includes knockback resistance. You'll be able to lift entire groups, slam them, and deal consistent poison-like damage over time. Combine that with a strong melee fighting style, and you've got one of the most complete fruits in the game. But it's not just about gameplay. The Control rework represents a turning point for Blox Fruits as a whole. The devs are clearly focused on modernizing every part of the game, making older fruits competitive again and giving new players reasons to experiment. Control is a perfect example of this philosophy. It's not just an update, it's part of a bigger evolution that keeps the game alive. If we look at how past reworks went, the Control update will probably roll out in multiple stages, starting with visuals, then balance patches, and finally ability adjustments. So even after release, expect more tweaks as players test and report how it performs. That's a good thing because it means the devs are paying attention and refining constantly. And let's not forget, Halloween season is right around the corner. There's a good chance that the Control rework might tie into the event. Imagine a limited-time Halloween boss that uses a corrupted version of the Control fruit. You fight it in a twisted, dark domain, and beating it gives you special rewards, maybe even exclusive accessories or skins. That's the kind of thing that brings hype back into Blox Fruits and keeps players grinding for hours. By the time this rework drops, the community will explode with showcases, PvP tests, and theory videos. Everyone will be trying to figure out the best combos, the fastest grinding methods, and the most broken setups. And if you're already watching this video, you'll be ahead of the curve. So to wrap it all up, the Control fruit rework is one of the biggest updates Blox Fruits has ever teased. It's not just about making the fruit stronger, it's about making it matter again. From visuals to gameplay, everything about it screams evolution. Whether you're a new player or a veteran, this update is something you should be hyped for. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if you're excited for the control rework. And don't forget, there's still time to enter the control fruit giveaway. This fruit is about to become one of the most valuable items in the entire game, so you definitely don't want to miss your chance. Stay tuned, because once the update officially drops, I'll be back with a full breakdown of every ability, combo, and secret mechanic in the new control fruit. This is KayBPlayz signing off, and remember, real power isn't just about strength, it's about control.